Hey guys, it's Thaila. I know it's been a long time since I've done an Ostomonday video and I apologise. I've been a bit busy. I went on holiday. Don't know if you can see, I've got a tiny tan line. You probably can't even see it. I've kind of been away and I thought it might as well be a topic for my next Ostomonday video is going on holiday with an ostomy. Now I only went away in the UK, so I don't have any tips so far for going abroad, but when I do finally go abroad I will obviously do a video about that. So my tips are for going sort of like probably on a road trip or somewhere that's not too far away. I mean where I went was probably about 2.5 hours away from home. But I mean, any kind of road trip or anything like that, this kind of applies to. And I didn't stay in a hotel, I actually stayed at Chris's house, but I have stayed in hotels before, so I kind of have an idea of what it's like. So here are my top 5 tips for going on holiday with an ostomy. Number 1, preparation is key. Now, taking supplies is obviously very important, your ostomy supplies, so make sure you have enough bags, accessories you may use, and what I tend to do is tend to take twice as many that I'll actually need, just in case something goes wrong, I've got enough to tie me over. So I went away for a week, and I know in a usual week I'll probably change my appliance twice, but I have 2 bags, so that would be 4 appliances. Then times that by 2, so I've got definitely enough for the week plus a bit more. So I know if I take 8 bags plus all the accessories, I know I'll be covered for that week. And then say if there's some kind of travel issue, so I'm there a bit longer, I've got enough to cover me. If I have like more leaks than I usually would, or you know, any leaks at all, at least I've got enough to kind of replace the ones that I use up. So I've definitely got enough to last me for the whole time I'm away. So it just makes me feel much better that I've actually got everything and I'm not panicking. And I mean, worst case scenario, I was in the UK, so I could actually ring my ostomy supplier if I did run out and go, you know what, I need something delivered to here, and I know that they'd do it. But obviously I don't know what that would be like in foreign countries, so I'm guessing if you go abroad, definitely take enough with you so you're not having to then panic about if you're over there and you run out. So that's top tip number 1. Tip number 2, plan your escape route. Now this for me is always important. I do this everywhere I go, and basically if you go to, say you're going out somewhere for the day, you want to know, right, if something goes wrong, where can I go? Is there a public toilet nearby? Is there, you know, if you're going to, say we went to Sea Life in Norfolk, obviously, you know, it's a place where there's toilet facilities and everything like that. So I know, worst case scenario, if I have to, I can go into the toilet cubicle and change everything. Even if it's like the day before, just sort of have a look on maybe on the website, see what kind of facilities there are, just to kind of give you an idea of, right, okay, worst case scenario, if I have to use anything for a leak or anything like that, I know what the route is, I know what to do. And just kind of like scope out any kind of key landmarks that can be used as a kind of emergency place. Like a couple of times I'd say, right, where are we going today? Okay, how far is that from our base of operations? Like how long is it possible to, like, if something happened, is there enough time to get back to our base of operations? Or am I going to have to sort something out there if something happens? I could have gone to a little cafe, Chris could have entertained himself with a drink while I'm sorting stuff out, jobs are good. It's good because as soon as you find out, okay, right, that's there, I know that's there if I need it, I can relax now. I don't have to worry about constantly trying to think, oh god, where am I going to go? Oh my god, what am I going to do? If you kind of plan everything and you know, oh well, there's a public toilet there or whatever, it's fine. And what I've got is I know in the UK there's a thing called the radar key, which I have. I think it's £5, and basically it's you can even get an app for it. I think, or is it a book? Can't remember now. But there's a lot of public toilets where there's a disabled toilet, and you have to use a key for it, and this is the key that fits into it. Like at the country park I went running around when I was training for my Race for Life, they have a radar key toilet there, so I know worst case scenario when I was running, if I had my key I could go there. Tip number 3, drink lots of water. Now whether this is within the UK or if it's out like abroad somewhere, especially in hot weather, but anywhere, just remember to drink lots of water, because a lot of the time when you're on holiday you get distracted by things and then you forget to drink water, and especially with an ileostomy you can get dehydrated very quickly. And especially if you're going on a flight, apparently when you go on a plane you get even more dehydrated than usual. So again, just remember to drink lots of water, because you don't want to be ill on holiday. Oh, and if you go into foreign places, make sure you get bottled water, not like tap water, because you can get ill very quickly if you drink water from other countries. So just be aware of that as well. Number 4, if in doubt, stick to familiar foods. Now, again, depending on where you go, within the UK, I obviously know what sort of food you get in the UK because I live here, but it could be that you go to some places and you're not entirely sure of what the food's going to be like, and if it's something you can eat, if there's particular dishes that you've heard, like you don't even know what's in it. Just be aware of what you're eating, because you don't want to eat something and then be ill, or you don't want to have to rush to hospital when you're on holiday. That's probably the worst thing. So just if you're in doubt, if you're not sure of something that you know whether you can eat it or not, or whether it's got something that is going to react badly to your ostomy or anything, if in doubt, just stick to something familiar. One tip could be to research the local cuisine. So just go on the internet and just type in, you know, the place you go into, whether it's a different country or if it's just a particular region. Just type in like local cuisine for that area and see what comes up. Look at some local dishes, because a lot of menus in restaurants will just have the name, maybe not a massive description. So at least you can kind of work out what's in each dish. See if there's anything you need to avoid, or just kind of work out what is going to work for you. And like I say, if worst case scenario, just stick to something simple. Even if you could just say, you know what, I'm allergic to this, to make sure there's nothing. Like for me, I know that mushrooms are a bit dodgy with an ileostomy. So instead of explaining, well, I can't have mushrooms because of this, and this, it's easiest to say, you know what, I'm allergic to mushroom. They're not going to know, they're not going to care. If you just say, look, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to whatever, they're not going to ask questions. They'll just say, right, I know, I can't put that in there. So if you're kind of nervous about saying, oh, I can't eat this, just say you're allergic to it, and they'll definitely make sure there's not in there. And tip number 5, try and enjoy yourself. For the first few days, it might be, especially if it's the first holiday since your ostomy, it might feel very strange to kind of be away from home if you've had a long recovery, or even if you've had a short recovery. Just those first steps in a place that's new can be very scary. But like say you're there for a week, maybe the first 2 days are a bit not sure, but by the end of the week you'd hopefully have enjoyed yourself. I'd say if you're going on holiday for the first time since your operation, try somewhere that's not too far away from home, just in case it just gets too much and you have to go home. I wouldn't say, I mean, some ostomates do for the first holiday, they'll go, thousands of miles away and be fine, but I would say, this is just personal, I mean you can do whatever you want, but my recommendation would be, if you go on holiday and if you're a worrier like me, I would say go for a short break somewhere, even if it's just a long weekend, somewhere that's a bit further away, maybe somewhere that you can do some activities but not be too far that you don't feel like you can get home if you need to, like if you really need to. Now I've had my ostomy for 3 years now, and I'm finally at the point where I feel comfortable to be able to go on a plane, but I still want to go somewhere that's like, quite a short flight, not a sort of a really long flight. Which is just me, I'm a worrier. I do tend to feel like I need to be relatively close to home. But some ostomates would be like, 6 months after their operation, they'll be, flying around the world. I guess it just depends on how people recover, not just physically, but mentally too. If you feel like, you know what, it's not holding me back, I know I want to go to Disneyland, I'm gonna go. Just do it. If you feel like you're ready, then do it. Don't feel like me and be kind of too nervous, but at the same time, don't push yourself. If you don't feel like you're ready, don't force yourself to do it. Just like I say, maybe go on a trip nearer home, but still change of scenery, because even just a change of scenery after your operation could do you wonders. Just feeling, I remember the first time I stayed over somewhere that wasn't my house, and it was very weird, but it was so liberating, and it was like, oh, I feel like a normal person again going somewhere. And the first time I stayed in a hotel since my operation, it was like, okay, it's not actually been this bad. And it was the first time, it was actually when me and Chris went to Norfolk again, but we actually stayed in a hotel. And it was like, I know I'd have to change my bag twice in the time that we were there, so it was weird because it wasn't my usual setup of, my bed and all my stuff. But I just had to sort of make my own new little holiday setup. You will get used to it. It will be scary at first, but the more and more you do it, the more and more you'll get used to the things you do and the routines, and before you know it, you'll be going all over the place and loving life. When we do finally go abroad, most likely on our honeymoon, I will do a video about travelling either on a plane, or it depends where we go. It could be a plane, it could be a ferry, I don't know. Now that's just the top 5. There are loads of tips for travelling with an ostomy. If you just go on the internet and just type in tips for travelling with an ostomy, or vacation with an ostomy, or anything like that, there are loads of websites that will have loads of tips and tricks. There's information about flights, there's information about documents that you should take with you, there's information about food and drink and all this sort of stuff. So that's just my top 5, just on personal experience from the holiday I went to like a couple of weeks ago. But go on the internet, have a look, have a research. There's loads of tips from people. There's lots of discussion forums where people have talked about their experience with holidays. So just read up about it. If you're a bit nervous, just have a look on the internet, and there'll be someone who's probably the same situation as you, who's done it, been there, done it, and can help you through their experience. So just have a look on the internet. I'll try and put some links below that are useful as well. So have a look in the information bar, and hopefully it will give you some inspiration and some ideas for when you go on your vacation. I hope you like this video. Please share it with all your friends, and make sure you subscribe for any more videos. I will try and be more regular with these Ostomonday videos. I'm sorry there's been such a gap between this one and the last one, but yes, I promise I will update more. Hope you're having a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.